for a live synchronous or in-person activity. So I will do my best to make it interesting. And as if kind of imagine we were in person class together. I'm sharing my screen with you and you can see our homepage. You can see our Zoom link, the statistics and APA tutor, about the 4 different psychology tracks if you're going to major or minor in psychology, our free book, all kinds of goodies. I want y'all to click on modules. When we click on modules, I want you to click on this class research activity. And I want you to go ahead and download this, the demonstration materials, and open the file. If you can, I'd like you to print this. If you don't have access to a printer, then by no means are you expected to get this downloaded. But let me share my screen. All right. So I have downloaded the class demonstration materials. If we were in class, I would have you go ahead and read all of these instructions and just complete this survey. Complete page 1, pass over page 2, complete page 3, page 4, and then to just read over pages 5 and 6 without answering these questions on the life stressor checklist. Just kind of review those. If some of them might be sensitive and you don't want to read on, that would be okay. You can maybe stop and come back to it. So if you're watching this video, I'd like you to do page 1, page 3, and 3 and part of page 4, and then just kind of peruse over the life stressor checklist revised stressors, and then come back to the video. So go ahead and hit pause right now. All right, well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed reading over the 24 items that make up the scale of protective factors. These 24 items are designed to assess 4 variables. Let's look at page 2. The 4 variables that are included in this measure. If you add up item 2, 4, 7, 20, 21, and 30, you can get your total social support score. Social support means that you have someone you could contact. It could be your mom, it could be your best friend, it could be AAA. Someone in your social support system that you can call when you're in trouble or when adversity hits. Okay. The second protective factor that this scale measures, if you add up item 1, 3, 12, 13, 16, and 17, would be your social skills score. Individuals who have good social skills, that means they can make new relationships, but they can also maintain relationships for the long haul. Those individuals are protected by that factor. So when stress and trauma comes their way, they're able to navigate through a traumatic event. Okay. So our 2 protective factors we've talked about: social support, social skills. Our 3rd protective factor is planning and prioritizing behavior. There's an ampersand in there, and. To be able to plan, do you like to make lists? I do. I have a pile of lists over here. Planning is very, very important. We see that in highly successful individuals. But we also want to prioritize. Okay. I don't know about you, but sometimes on a Saturday morning, I have a very long things to do list and I decide to go to Walmart and blow half my day. Have you ever done that? Well, we don't want to do that. We want to prioritize our time. First thing in the morning, most of us are pretty good cognitively. So that would be the time to spend 2 hours on your research paper before going to Walmart. Maybe setting a goal. I'm going to work for 2 hours on my homework and set a timer. And at that 2 hours, I'm going to go to Walmart for a max of an hour. That's including drive time. Okay. Planning and prioritizing behavior. This is another skill for those that are able to ward off stress and trauma. Fourth protective factor is called goal efficacy. Goal efficacy means that you are proud of the goals that you have. It means you also have goals. Okay. Sometimes I always think it's so interesting when New Year's Eve comes around. Everybody's like, what are your goals for the year? And some people are like, I don't know, I just wing it. And that's cool. But when we find individuals who are able to ward off stress and trauma, they have goals in place. And they often have a plan A goal and a plan B and a plan C. So if stress and trauma does happen, they're already ready for plan B. Maybe plan A isn't going to work out, but they have a plan B or C, and they're okay with that. Okay. I want you to go ahead and make sure to do page 2 after you finish watching this lecture. Go ahead and calculate your score. What's your social support score, your social skills, planning and prioritizing, and goal efficacy. Also, I recommend for your homework this week is to have somebody else fill this out that you're close to and that will share with you and kind of share feedback. What are your scores? What are you higher in that maybe they're not? Okay. Maybe y'all can help each other and build up your protective factors. All right. And here's the reference for this measure. You'll be using the reference in your future discussion posts and papers. Page 3 and the top of page 4, these are 25 items that make up the Connor-Davidson Resilience Scale, or the CD risk. These items are also great. These items, you would just answer all 25 items as best as it fits you, and then just total up these columns for an overall score. So go ahead and do that as well. And discuss any items with your loved one that, or somebody that also agreed to fill these out with you, and just kind of brainstorm some ideas. And here's the reference for that. Now, this third assessment, we call it the Life Stressor Checklist Revised, or LSCR, is assessing stress and trauma. As I said before, I don't want you to fill this out, and don't ask anybody else to fill it out. Okay, it could be too invasive. But if you want to read through the items and be thinking about, when you're reading these items, what items would I like to research this semester? You are going to do 3 different projects this semester. And they are called your data analysis quizzes. Your data analysis quiz 1 is a demographics report. You're going to summarize the data in the archive data set that is included in this class and talk about a topic of interest to you. For DAC 2, you're going to do a t-test. We'll talk more about that. And this is where you're going to compare 2 groups of people. Then you're going to do a third project, and that's where you're going to correlate 2 or more variables together. Okay. So when we think about DAC 2, a t-test, and you're going to compare 2 different groups of people, and we have all these questions where they say yes or no. Cool. There's 2 groups of people. So LSCR1, have you ever been in a serious disaster? For example, an earthquake, hurricane, large fire explosion, and of course in our area we need to add tornado. Now, if they say yes, we could code them as a 1. And then no, code them as a 0. Now we have 2 groups of people, and we could think about what variables are of interest if you've experienced a natural disaster. Do you think if someone has experienced a natural disaster, they're more resilient or maybe less resilient? Do you think they're able to laugh things off? Kind of look through some of the CD risk items. Work on this document this week and think about what ideas you have. Start writing them down. Make sure to include them in your weekly notes I'd really like you to write down 3 research kind of ideas. They could just be, I think if somebody has been to jail and now they're not in jail and they're in school, they're more resilient than somebody who's never been to jail. Make that up. You could, if it's an idea, you're just making stuff up right now. Tell me what's interesting to you. Have you ever been separated or divorced? Of college students who have been separated or divorced, are they more resilient now or are they less resilient? Kind of interesting. Um, but I want you to look through all of this demonstration packet and start thinking, what do I want to research this term? And what we'll be doing is looking through this archive data set. An archive data set is published data that was collected and approved by the Institutional Review Board already. You simply download it and begin running statistical analyses. Sorry for typos. Archive data set, it's great, it's free. You can get to run stats ASAP. The problem with archive data that many of you are going to run into, you might want to ask other questions that are not included. Okay, so that makes it a little bit limiting, but that's okay. It's free. You can download it, start playing with it, and we're going to start using Excel and SPSS next week. So I hope you had fun in this lecture. I want you to think critically. Think critically. Read through chapter 1, learning about variables and independent and dependent variables, and correlation is not equal causation. All of this should be circling around in your thoughts and getting you ready to succeed. Thank you for your time. Get to work.